Practice.
Good afternoon and welcome to the continuing coverage of this year's Men's Ontario Provincial Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On and Title Sports Live. Today we have the men's final of this 93rd Ontario Provincial Championship. The winner of this event earns the right to represent Ontario at the Tim Hortons Brier in Kingston, Ontario, February 29th through March the 8th. My name is Ian Tetley and I'm joined by my co-host Barb Williamson. Well, Barb, this is our last game of a great week. This is the final that everybody hoped for, and now we have it. John Epping up against Glenn Howard. John Epping from the Leaside Curling Club and Glenn Howard from the Penetanguishene Curling Club. In this particular game, Howard will have the yellow stones and Epping with the blue stones, and by virtue of the standings, John Epping has earned last rock advantage. Barb?
So let's just take a look at the standings for this week. Alone at the top of the heap was John Epping. He finished undefeated at 8-0, followed closely by Glenn Howard. There was a two-way tie between McDonald and Hall, and they earned the right to advance to a tiebreaker. And that actually determined our format for the playoffs.
And in that playoff format, you saw Hall and McDonald play in that tiebreaker game. And obviously McDonald advancing. We saw the great semifinal last night between Glenn Howard and Scott McDonald. Obviously McDonald being the defending champion of this event. And then we basically had the top three teams in this event from last year to this year. And this has set up our final between Glenn Howard and John Epping. Well, these two teams have played quite a bit, and we've got some fun facts that just to kind of show how many times these guys have played. So these two teams have their season record. First off, John Epping's is 47 wins and 19 losses, whereas with a 71% win percentage. Whereas Glenn Howard is 32 and 24, only a 57% win percentage. Probably not the season that Glenn would have liked. Probably why they've fallen back to number 18 on the CTRS. With Hammer this year, John Epping has won 25 and only lost 5. That's 83%. He's looking really good. Now Glenn without the Hammer is 9 and 10, only 47%. But that's actually a pretty good record for a team without the Hammer.
Right.
Now head-to-head lifetime. Glenn obviously leads this 32 to 19, but this year they are 2 and 2. Now, a bunch of fun things, just the highest end this year. They both have had 5s. Highest steal that each of them have had, 4 for Epping and 3 for Glenn. Highest end against is 5 each.
Wow.
And the highest end, each one is stolen, 3 for Epping and 4 for Howard. Now this year, we get down to the final ends, and it's always interesting to kind of see how these guys have done. So last end in the last 3 years, John Epping tied coming home with the Hammer. He's 8 and 2, and he's 4 and 0 this year. Glenn last 3 years is 8 and 0 and 3 and 0 this year. Now without the Hammer, here's the interesting fact for all of them. They're all offers. None of them have stolen the last end being tied up. So, it's going to be a massive advantage for either one of these teams if we come to the end and they are tied with the Hammer. Well, we've got now both these teams obviously are dynamite, and the keys to victory for both these guys tonight a little bit different. For Epping, I think it's essential that he kind of get out to an early lead and try to take the crowd out of it. Glenn has got fans everywhere in this world. He's 17-time provincial champion from Ontario. He's kind of owned this province the last while. And for John, he's the new guy on the block, and he's starting to take over. The 2 seconds on these teams, you got Matt Cam and Dave Mathers. Matt Cam played skip back in his junior days. Dave Mathers has always played front end. Now Matt Cam has actually made the transition last year from playing third to playing second. He's a dynamite hitter. David Mathers, dynamite hitter. When you get into the draw game and touch games, their games start to break down a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how both these skips work these guys. Obviously, John's going to have to bring his A game today. And he just has a little bit of amnesia. Like, he's lost his provincial final 3 different times. Now, for Howard, I'm telling you, he's got these young Huskies that he's got to rein them in. You know, but at the same time, he can feed off their great enthusiasm. I think Glenn is going to have to be extremely patient in this, trying to work it and try to get the advantage, try to steal a point and maybe get that advantage back. And then once again, you know what, he's been here 17 different times. There's just a ton of experience. So let's meet these 2 teams.
So Team Epping, the lead is Brent Lang, second Matthew Cam, the third is Ryan Fry, and their skip is John Epping, and they play out of the Leaside Curling Club.
In Glen Howard, he's got lead Tim March, second David Mathers, third Scott Howard, and of course Glen Howard being the skip. So the ice is set, the teams are ready, and we've got our opening stone by Howard lead Tim March.
Line's good. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait on this, Davey.
Well, Barb, we've had great ice here. As the week has gone on, it's gotten better and better.
Certainly, the players cannot complain about the speed. It's held up all week. We've seen very, very little breakdown, if any at all.
Nice shot, Tim. Fine.
Well, it's running about 15 seconds between the hog lines.
And we did have, of course, a round-robin game between these 2 teams that Epping won. It was extremely close, you know, for the first, I'm going to say 5 ends, and then Epping cracked a big 6 when they came back from the break. Final score in that game was 9-5. There was lots of scoring in the second half.
No, well then.
Lead Brent Lang.
Yep. Whoa. Which there, John? Okay, top of the floor. Whoa.
Nice come around here.
Walk around, Timmy.
When you mentioned briefly the record, Glenn Howard's record here, it's easier to talk about his losses in this event because it's a shorter list.
Okay, wait around.
He's won it 17 times and he's lost it only 3 times. In 04, 05, and 18.
Fill room, it looks good. Line's real good.
Well,
line's real good.
John Epping's lead Brent Lang. He's also a 3-time Canadian world champion. He played with Kevin Cooey at the Olympics in Pyeongchang. You know what? He's done a lot of things, and he's going to bring a lot of experience to this Epping team.
You know, we rhymed off a stat when they played each other in the round robin that Brent Lang has not lost an Epping-Howard game since 2010.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I'm sure for John Epping, he hopes that that continues.
You gonna give us a couple feet then? Okay. Yeah.
Brent Lang, the 41-year-old entrepreneur for World Financial Group and Weedman. He's got a couple of his own little businesses that he runs.
Hard! No, it's not there. We're tight, John. Okay, go here. Tight. Should have something. Hard! Just not in. Hard! Keep going. Keep going. Whoa. That's good. Okay. Yeah. You want to just tap it or make it? Try, Langer. Probably just tap. It's 8 feet there. I got 5 feet more.
You know, I find it's interesting that Glenn is deferring to young Scott here quite a bit, asking what they would like to do rather than make that decision. I guess maybe Scott's a pretty strong character, and he doesn't want to have to put up with the wrath of his own son.
Gotta go, Scott. You gotta go, Scott.
Another thing we noticed, Ian, was that, well, we know that the teams have choice of rocks from anywhere on the 4 sheets. And John Epping, by virtue of his great record, had first choice, and he took yellow, which is what, he took blue, which is what Howard won handily with yesterday.
Little fresh here.
So all week long, during the games, the guys like to track the rocks that they played with and which ones would actually make really good pairs when they got into the playoffs.
Yep, whoa.
So and that's what it usually sort of sets the tone.
Yep. Whoa!
Now, interestingly enough, I know they're probably not playing with a complete set from anywhere, but they threw yellow on this sheet when they played in the round robin. Team Epping did.
Tough one, bud.
Now they're throwing blue from wherever they decided to choose their rocks from.
Well, that's a nice hit and roll from Matt Cam to get position.
What do you like?
You may see Glenn
hit
run
it.
his center back here and try to
This?
splash out the.
Or this? Okay.
You don't need to do that, Dave.
If you hit it right on the angle, they all go.
Came down.
Can you not just hit 3/4 with normal? We'll sit dead buried.
This?
No, just the wide open one. Don't run the guard.
Come through the hole and leave
Yeah, I
the
like
guards
this better.
there.
No? No, because he runs that double.
Okay. Whatever you like.
Well, Glenn is the master in this situation, and sometimes I think the kids need to defer to the master. David Mathers
Yep.
Real close.
Yep.
Hard.
trying to run this back and not pick his own out.
Okay, that's not bad.
Just get the top stone.
Shot, Dave.
That curled last game too, eh? Yeah.
Gonna run good here, guys.
I'm going to put another one in here, suggesting that you could even possibly tap that yellow one. Maybe roll off of it.
That's a call.
Matt Cam, the 29-year-old, originally from Ottawa, now making Cornwall his home.
Easy.
His wife expecting another child in June.
Half goes.
Okay.
You like it?
Or the run.
Maybe do that better.
That's probably better. Yep. Same turn.
Just come up a bit here, Scott.
We came off pretty good, eh?
I'm going to run this yellow one in and see if I have how many blue rocks they can get moving here.
Oh, right off. Off.
Close.
No, Tim, no, never. Never, ever, ever.
No. Oh, a little unlucky. Not bad.
Very unlucky from Scott's vantage point here. He only gets the one out.
Just I was hoping to curl an inch. It's perfect. Shoot.
Run back coming here.
Well, for Ryan Fry, trying to make the run back and at least get and stick around here too. And that will dig in out in the wing. And John Epping currently has his two set up.
Solid hack.
Okay.
Well, for Scott Howard here. Just going to try and make a little hack to board weight, little hit, and try to, if they can carve in at the end here, they might be able to hit and roll inside.
Oh, you really got to go here.
You gotta
You
go.
got Dave. That's not going out.
That didn't curl at all. Not too bad. I threw it pretty good.
He did. Well, he hammered it.
It's never finished up for him there in that spot.
There.
Should have curled
We haven't really seen that run very straight since the very, very early part of the week.
Okay, buddy. Jesus. Throw back it on your own and you can make it.
I had no business making that.
Well, for John Epping here and Ryan Fry, going to try and split the rings here and lay three.
Real close.
And for Glenn Howard, it's kind of
It's on the tee.
it's one of those things where he's hoping he can bail out and maybe give up only two.
We're there. Throw front.
Need to make a double from somewhere.
You got to see this. I'm throwing in turn. You got to see it curl a little bit, eh?
So yeah, slid a ton better than yours. Yeah.
A big shot for
All right.
Glenn's first rock of this game. Needing to make a double.
Got to come. I think it's going to come up.
Well, and for Glenn
Me too.
going way wide here and trying to throw this high hard, it's kind of not the shot that he was expecting to throw. And I think, you know, I don't want to say anything about age because he's been defying his age in this game for a long time.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
This will curl, though.
Yes.
Hard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, yep.
Hard.
Good looking
Really
shot
gotta
here
go,
from
Tim.
Glenn Howard.
Got it. Go, 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 go.
Oh, that curled up.
Now where do we go?
Man, that looked good.
Think so. Shake on, and what do you think compared to draw to the button here?
Loved it when you let it
So
go.
did I. Man, did that curl.
Expecting a bit, but I didn't.
Well, for John Epping,
Neither.
he's just going to try to spread these rocks, his rock,
Going sort of the same
out into the
path as
12-foot
Ryan
here, and hoping that there's no form of a double for Glenn,
Okay.
in a hope that he can jump out to an early 3-0 lead here.
That would be a great start for Team Epping.
First stone here for John Epping in the first end of play in this men's final.
There right now.
John, the 36-year-old from
There right now. Real
Peterborough
close, Ryan.
originally, now making Toronto
Top
his
8.
home.
We're top 8.
That's 14-2, hog to hog.
Okay. Good throw, John.
Well, this is what Glenn Howard was hoping for, that he would have.
Yeah, it didn't go
No,
up.
I agree.
Okay.
Out turn?
Let's see. Out.
There's even an opportunity here with how those stones are positioned, that he can make a massive double takeout and roll to the back of the button.
Can he make the triple? Can he catch a piece of that back blue on
It's going to
his?
get a little bit.
No.
It's too thin.
Yeah, and I don't think the rocks are lively enough. But you never know. I never want to say never.
Especially in this game.
Glenn Howard, the retired beer store manager.
Real close. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep. Really gotta go.
Hard.
Dave.
Hard.
Oh, oh.
Jeez.
He lost this one too.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Throwing that kind of weight and getting, just getting way more curl in there. They're expecting,
got
although
that
they've played
back
on the
and
sheet
everything.
several times and it hasn't changed.
That's not the start I wanted.
Well, you can hear right from Glenn there. Obviously, you don't want to drop 3 in the first end. You know, this is kind of what Epping kind of wants. He wants to force these guys. But, you know, it's a long game. We've seen a lot of teams come back from being down.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
Wait, should be close. Wait's good.
Apparently.
So they're going to have to park that and move on.
That's
All right, boys.
14-65. And that's going to be a huge 3 points for John Epping here in this first end of play. And for Glenn Howard, he's going to have to regroup. You know, as it turns out there, Glenn had 2 shots at a double there. You know, just over curling on both of them. So maybe just not believing it.
You know, one of his last comments as he headed down to throw his last stone was that it won't move that much here. But it moved every bit as much as it did on the intern.
Well, this is, I think in practice you know, you get so worked up about making sure that your rocks are kind of evenly matched. And so you throw them and making sure that they're matched and they're curling the same and the weight's the same. that sometimes you forget about some important parts of the sheet, which are to me kind of out wide. And I don't see them throwing some of these heaters in practice just to kind of figure out exactly what it is doing.
Matt's curled in there.
I agree 100%. In fact, to me, they concentrate on strictly on one side of the sheet throughout their whole practice, and never even do they wear down the middle. It's just an observation we've seen, and we know all week long. Yes, they're practicing that way because of their draw to the button, but in the playoffs, there is no draw to the button.
Well, Brent Lang is going to throw his stone here on the top of the forefoot to start this second end of play.
Real close.
This men's Ontario provincial final champion moving on to the Tim Hortons Brier.
A little over an hour down the 401 from here.
Yeah.
Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah.
Well, for Tim March, you know, it's the second end, and for Glenn to mount an offense and get back into this, it is imperative to get this corner guard in play in the free guard zone.
Get her tight.
Got to stop.
It will.
Has to stop.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Should be short.
The irony.
Wow, that kept going.
Tim March played in the Brier in 2018, actually playing for John Epping.
Right.
Here's I.
Little less Langer.
Last year, John Epping losing this final game to Scott McDonald. So he wants this.
Well, he definitely wants to make amends. John's only been to one Brier.
No, we're full forward.
He won this year's Canada Cup. And it seems to be this final game has been a little bit of his nemesis in the past. He's lost to Glenn Howard in this final before. He lost to Scott McDonald last year, and he lost to Mark Keane.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And that's going right back
Really
to the
needs to
keys of
stop.
the game earlier that you mentioned. He needs to forget about
How
that.
heavy?
Top 12? Sorry, Langer.
You can tap this in.
5 feet less.
Yeah, yep, yep,
You did, okay.
yep,
My number was saying 5, 6.
yep. Come on, Scott. Come on, Scott. Come on. Come on, Scott. Come on, 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 come on. Okay.
Good call. Never had the weight to draw around it, so good call of the audible there to tap that in.
Well, this is interesting, and even the call is interesting as well for Matt Cam, because
Me too.
if he splits it off,
Yeah.
the rock goes back because he's hitting the rock. The rock
He's hitting.
he's hitting. If it goes out of play, every rock goes back. So really important not to split it off, and I think he's going to do that.
What do you want to do?
Well, they couldn't really get it together there. They knew it was going to have to go back, and they tried to stop it before it made contact.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to
close?
make their life easier
Yeah.
rather than having to put both rocks back. Just they know it's going to clip it out of play.
Hey?
Yeah, move the blues.
Not awful. Nose is pretty good.
Yeah, nose is good, David.
No, hair low.
I thought it was a little you said whoa to my hand.
And again, that's that same spot that really, really curls. Like he had pretty decent weight there, and it just curled right past the nose of that.
Yeah.
Well, I still think it's a little bit of what I call fresh
Shots
pebble
did.
curl.
Yeah.
Okay, weight's good.
Whoa.
Easy, Tim. Easy.
Whoa.
We got tons of weight.
Whoa.
David Mathers,
John,
the
you gotta go.
28-year-old
You really gotta
from
Really, really got to go.
Ottawa here,
Oh, no.
trying to.
Disaster. That's not curling there, Dave. A little heavy, too.
Well,
same as mine did. Straight.
David Mathers could not roll out there. I think
Just real straight, Dave.
I think the
Same
weight
thing that happened
call might have been a little positive as well. He could have just tapped it on the nose with back
Scott's
line
him,
at
eh?
most. Because he just had to keep his shooter in the rings.
Matt
Well,
Cam
here's
throwing
Matt Cam. He's got to try to make this. Ooh, he's got to go to make contact.
Goodness.
Well, we kind of mentioned at the beginning of the game that this could be one of our key matchups in the game. Would be David Mathers up against Matt Cam.
It'll leave a double, but
And they both just missed in the second end. So.
board. Yep.
They're bringing the weight call down now to board.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Really hard, Scott. Really hard, Scott. Really hard, Scott. You gotta go hard. You really gotta go. You really gotta go.
God,
You
he's
gotta go
almost
hard.
gonna
You gotta
flash
go hard.
this.
You get it behind that one then. That was later than the first one.
Well, for David Mathers, you know, fortunately they did a heck of a job sweeping to keep that stone straight, keep it in play, and keep the deuce alive for Glenn Howard here.
You're doing pretty good here, Fry.
Ryan Fry, the new addition to the Epping team this year.
Completely different than yesterday.
Olympic gold medalist with Brad Jacobs in 2014.
Pretty hard.
No.
No roll. Throw, Fry.
Well, that shot is good and bad. It's good because he rolls behind cover, but bad because now it's going to give Scott Howard the opportunity to hit and roll, or to draw around his own
Line's
stone
good.
and freeze to it.
I had good, Dave. Line's good. Okay. Yeah, you gotta go wait, boys.
Scott Howard, the
Really gotta go.
29-year-old, obviously son of Glenn and
Keep going. Come on.
project manager for Macon Construction.
Well,
It's coming up a little light here.
Just didn't throw it, or is it slow? It's just slow. What?
Well, I think this may give
That's some good stuff. That should be there.
Ryan Fry a free run at making the double, removing the Howard stones, and possibly putting the force on to Glenn Howard to take a point.
Throw, Fry.
Well, if he rolls out here, they'll still have that freeze. A second chance to make the same shot here.
Scott Howard looking to freeze this.
Whoa, whoa. Room. Looks there. Looks there. Line's good. Not Tim. No, actually Tim. Yeah. Tim a bit.
Line's perfect.
No. Tim a bit. Tim.
Line's perfect.
Tim, you gotta go. You gotta go. Okay.
Made his weight adjustment, but just a little bit too much.
Well, that's 14-4. And I think we do know that,
This is right
you
on
know, all week long that we time the rocks, and it's almost like it might be a foot keener or 2 feet keener going in the home direction. So the times are very, very close. But you just know that as a sweeper you can carry it a little bit further.
So first rock for John Epping here in the second end.
Well, John looking to possibly hang around, but he doesn't want to leave a pocket for Glenn.
Go, Ryan. Go.
So that's why they're sweeping this out.
Well, same freeze, I think, eh? Or make the double.
Throw, John.
Freeze is pretty good. Freeze is pretty good. It's moved a bit.
I think the
A little more.
for Glenn Howard here, his forte is drawing. So, you know, trying to make across the house double, I'm not
What do you got
his,
here, boys?
not necessarily in his wheelhouse.
Oh, there's still a chance for a
Not quite
two
draw
here
the
if he
button.
locks this on had 3. This is their 3rd attempt at the same shot. I think this one's going to be very close. Got the information he needed from his sweepers.
Well, the one thing I know about Glenn Howard is you never count him out.
Don't clean it if it's heavy.
He's made some big shots over the years, and this would just be another. He's just looking to lock this on. 14-5, hog to hog. He might be a little hot.
Yeah. Well, that slid, eh? I felt a little heavy,
Well,
but that slid good.
For the Howard team, they're just not maybe quite as sharp these first 2 ends, but I expect things to change in the next 8.
Well, he's got to get his single here and move on.
John Epping with his last stone here in the 2nd end of play in this Ontario Men's Provincial Championship. Looking to hang around if he can.
Probably this one, Scott.
Well, he'll roll out, but with respect to their end plan, it would be, hopefully we nailed it, guys.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Glenn Howard here needing a piece of the 8-foot for his single in the 2nd end. A big hush comes over the crowd here as Glenn gets set to throw.
I got real good.
Okay, line's good.
This is the exact path they practiced in
Starting to curl a bit now.
their 7-minute practice before the game.
I expect this to be
That's
on the
fair,
button.
boys.
That's 14-7. Should be pretty well bang on the button. So that's a single point here for Glenn Howard in the 2nd end, but will trail John Epping by a score of 3-1.
I think it was just a couple pads down that spot.
Well, they certainly found a keen spot with that outturned attempt at that corner guard, that rock that was in the back of the 12 foot. They missed it 2 out of 3 times heavy, and the first time they missed it light. So very difficult shot to. They just never got it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do 2 centers anyway?
Sure.
Talking about their end game, their end plan here.
Yeah.
Well, for Glenn Howard, he's going to have to put on his stealing caps, and being an away end, he knows that John will probably just go straight to the ring. He throws center guard. He's probably going. John will go into the top 4 foot. Glenn may throw a 2nd center guard, and then you'll probably see John go in again, and then Glenn's going to try to start tapping.
All about execution here for these guys.
Where do you want to go?
Line's good. It's not in, Dave. Easy.
God, you love sweeping.
That's sliding real good.
It's all there.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Tim March with his opening stone of this 3rd end.
Almost.
Good.
Looking just to get this to be a nice tight guard right on center line.
So you wait halfway down the sheet before you sweep.
Brent Lang coming around that center, as you predicted, looking for 4 foot here.
Give John and Matt an internal.
See, I don't think this path,
Good, John.
my sense is that this path didn't really get broken in.
We're real close.
Well, that's 14-9, so that's
I think we freeze.
You like this?
that's really nice control by Brent Lang.
Yeah, and it did poke out into the open a bit. So instead of that 2nd center guard, they're going to freeze right in here.
Well, Brent Lang
Move that
had
around.
gone
Good. We can go
behind
a
the
bit.
tee line. I think you would
Pair
have seen
wide.
Glenn throw the center guard.
Play the weight.
But essentially,
Just can't be heavy.
Mine is good here.
by him putting on
There
the
it
top
goes, really
4,
Okay, we can go. We
you
can
know,
go.
if he threw
you
a
can
center
go,
guard
Small
here,
Small
You
ball.
got to go, Dave.
if he threw a center guard and Langer locked it on again, they'd be really hard pressed all end long to get any position.
Right.
That's a great shot by Tim March here.
Sure.
Hey? I wouldn't think it's straight. It's good. Yeah. Because you did that the first time and it still come off. Yeah, I think it's going a little more too. Okay, it's good to know.
John calling for the corner freeze again from Brent Lang.
Shot, Tim, or Dave. I thought it was there.
Kind of a heavy clean. It starts to make its move now. Gonna have to go to get it by.
Push, buddy, push! Go, 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 go! Keep going, keep going.
Great sweeping.
Those are two great shots by Brent Lang.
Might leave that, but whatever.
Well, for Glenn Howard now, he needs some big shots, and it starts right here from David Mathers.
Line's good.
He's going to need a
Line's
really
real
good freeze on the shot stone.
Whoa! Has it curled? It's got to be heavy.
Yeah.
Looks real heavy.
Back 8.
Yep, go Tim, go Tim, go Tim, go,
Yep,
go,
it's
go,
really
go, go
curling.
Tim.
It's really curling.
Okay.
So the Manitoba ladies played the semifinal this morning, and Jennifer Jones defeated Team Fleury in an extra end 8-7. So she plays Einerson in the final this afternoon. Fleury went pretty much undefeated all week, and now she's out.
Well, that Manitoba women's, you had 3 of the top 5 teams in the world playing out of one province.
Now they will definitely be in the wild card game.
Straight guard, Davey.
They still have another chance to get to the Scotties. Team Fleury does.
Well,
Could do that.
for
Guard
John
for now?
Epping here, when you've got a 2-point
guard.
lead and you've
It
got
goes there,
last
but I guess
rock,
it's not awful. Sure.
you're going to try to score a 2 with minimal risk. And he doesn't feel like he needs to stick his neck out here at all.
It's a little tight. Line's a little tight.
Halfway.
Line's tight.
I think so.
Hard, Tim.
Yeah. You gotta be really careful.
But how often do you see a couple both playing in a provincial final on the same day?
Easy. It's going to
Brent
overcurl.
and Jennifer.
Yes. Especially 2 different provinces.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Jen Jones has always played out of Manitoba, so the Curling Canada rule with birthright is that she can always play out of there,
Right.
providing she doesn't play. Well, the way the rule is written now, she can play there endlessly. Matt Cam making the peel.
Do it now. There. Do you like that? Kind of like that. You can probably throw a board, Scott. Even a feather, that's fine.
I gotta throw normal, don't I?
What are you trying to? You're not trying to get this.
Oh. Okay, that's fine too, yeah?
I'm just thinking this. Just hit this and roll over.
Okay.
Solid
board
board.
should be fine.
Hey.
Good thing he clarified that. It sounded like they were talking about 2 different shots.
Nope.
Glenn Howard
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
made the transition last season to 3rd.
Real hard.
Scott Howard.
Real hard, Tim.
Scott Howard, sorry.
Real hard, Tim.
Hard, Tim! Hard! Hard!
Go, 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 go. That's fine.
Make that dub.
Well, for Ryan Fry here, he does have the
Wasn't
opportunity
hard.
to
I want solid board too.
make the nose double. And if successful, Glenn's going to have to navigate the 3 Epping stones in the rings.
Again.
You might see a bunch of doubles being thrown.
Yeah.
Hard.
Ryan Fry, the 41-year-old from Winnipeg, making Toronto his home now. Really, I think. Oh dear.
Stuffs them both.
Brent, isn't that a piece of chunk of stuff there?
Well, for Glenn Howard.
Yeah, he's second.
I think you got to hit it.
I think you got to hit it too. Could do this.
Can I roll into the yellow? Yeah.
You know, his options
normal.
are
Okay. What's this
throwing
gonna
the
do?
guard
Gonna
on his
curl.
own.
Is that minimum?
But if he did that, you'd probably see John make a double off his own and get position. So that doesn't look good for Glenn. So I think that's why Scott Howard here is just going to try to
Yep.
hit and roll, maybe jiggle his around, and hopefully force the Epping team to a single point here.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep. Keep going. Beauty.
That's exactly what they called. It turned out really, really good
Wow.
for Team Howard.
Ryan Fry can actually throw this really hard and accurate. There is a small opportunity for a triple there. Which could change the face of this end.
Double gun went last time, you missed it.
Well, I think he's a little high here. Well, he gets the 2.
Guard this one.
What?
Over here.
Let's hit this. I like hitting this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nose is fine too.
I'll give you a little weight. Everything's curling, Scott.
Well, for Glenn Howard,
Not bad.
What's that?
he's
Same
hoping
turn?
he's got
Sure.
What,
John
do you like
Epping
nose it or do you
forced,
wanna
but
roll?
if he noses
I don't
this
wanna roll
rock
so you
out
can
in the wing
freeze.
here,
Yeah.
you will see John Epping
Well, you
freeze
never
to
know.
one of his stones in the back.
Yeah.
And if he freezes, I don't believe Glenn can get him out. Glenn Howard here, his first stone in this third end of play.
Close.
Whoa!
Tim.
Looking to
Whoa,
make
Tim.
a hit and
Clean,
roll.
Clean. Clean. Whoa. It's rolling a bit. It's rolling. Yeah, that's fine.
Everything's curling except that talk later.
I kind of like that.
Hey?
I kind of like that.
The back double there?
Yeah, he's gonna be dead buried now.
Is the back double one there?
True.
Yeah, Glenn kind of didn't want to roll to the center to give Team Epping a chance to be buried somewhere.
Man, did that girl! I took all of that. Bro.
Yeah, you did.
Going to go after the back double, and then they will be frozen in the back of the forefoot. Or, sorry, buried in the back of the forefoot.
John's throwing 6.
Which you have to sort of be careful what you wish for here, because it's, you know, for Glenn, he's got an opportunity to force here. But we know John Epping, he's going to be ultra aggressive. If he makes this double, you'll see Glenn probably freeze.
It's going to curl.
That's a heck of a shot by John Epping here.
He's got to come down.
We're one.
But they're not
Yeah,
shot at the
nothing
back
freeze.
there.
Just gotta watch him give him the double, but just get it
Still
right on
going
the
to
face.
freeze, though. Lock it on, Dad.
Well, for Glenn Howard, yeah, like, you know, this is the shot that, this is what he's good at. He is a great touch player. And so he's going to try to come down here. And the way these guys sweep, I would think that Tim March would be one of the top 5 sweepers in the world. Like, he is that good. And so if he can lock this thing on.
Really important for in this particular path for them to keep it wide for as long as possible, because it does break really, really hard.
You can
I got
go.
real good.
Glenn
got
Howard
lots.
with his
I got
last
lots.
stone here in the
got
third
two
end of
through.
play.
Yep, it'll curl.
Line's good.
It'll curl.
Line's good.
Gotta go.
Yep, got it.
Gotta go.
Line. Hard line. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep.
14-2 looks
Come on,
really
go,
good.
Go, right
Yep.
to the face.
Whoa.
Right
Yep,
to the face.
yep,
You gotta
yep.
keep it high side.
Right to it. Right to it. Good shot.
There you go.
Very Really nice call and sweep and throw by the Howard team.
Well, but for John Epping, he has to be very careful. I think all those that have competed against John knows that sometimes his in-turn draw, his handle can get a little bit lazy. And if he doesn't have a nice positive release, which means he sort of stabs a little bit at the end just to make sure he's got positive handle, this could curl past that spot.
Or crash on the front one.
Exactly.
Looks like he got all the way out there.
Last rock for John Epping here in the third end. Looking to get a piece of the 4-foot.
We're T-line. T-line. Line only, bud.
Secure his single point. Starting to go sideways here now. Look at this. He got to go hard to get it by. They're going to get a little rub, but still get enough of it.
What a save by the sweepers there.
Well, they kind of left it a little bit they left it way too long, in my opinion. I think, Ryan Fry should have said, yeah, once you've got line, just go, right?
He had backing, so that would have been disastrous if it had
Well, that's a
curled
single
anymore.
point for John Epping here in the third end. He will go back up to a 3-point lead, leading 4-1.
Play a good one here, get our dues.
So that was a lot closer than it should have been.
I think never.
Well, and look at that end. Like they just, the momentum kept shifting all throughout the end.
So Team Epping will go back to work here.
Soft four-liner. Don't see any difference in the speed.
Lots of game left, boys.
Here the Howard team, they're keeping each other positive here. Lots of game left.
Thought we were close.
Well, for Brent Lang, he continues to keep getting position, and if he can continue to keep putting this thing on the top of the 4-foot, there'll be lots of pressure placed on the Howard team to respond.
What's that?
The lead man in today's game is,
Line's
people
good.
might think
Where are
that
we?
they are
Where?
boring, mundane shots, just throwing
Tight.
corner guards and draws, whatever.
I like
but
tight. Really curling, boys.
they're kind of like the pawns in a game of chess.
Get her
Like they're-
tight.
They might be kind of small, but they're mighty.
It's going like crazy. Wow.
And they set the tone for the whole end.
Yes.
Shot,
Well, curling has evolved such that every
Perfect spot.
position is just vital now. The most successful teams surround themselves with the best player at each position.
Not a hair light.
You got to get into it somehow. Gotta go wait here. I like it. Just tight here, John. It's looking like. Go. Keep going. Go.
He managed to sweep that for a biter.
Well, that's perfect setup position by Brent Lang. And now for Tim March. Glenn Howard has asked him
Line's
to
good.
put a long
Line's
guard.
better.
Those are some really
one curls a hair
great
more.
close-ups of from our TSL camera
Looks
people
heavy.
of
It
the
is. Is it right to
players
it?
throwing
Nope.
their stones.
Line's pretty good.
Open stops at TSL.
It's important to get this
It's not bad.
in the
That works
1-2
too.
area, as we say, with one about the first 6 feet over the hog line, 2 the next
I had
6.
heavy all the way. Shot, Tim. Yeah.
They're just talking about where they're going to position their next shot. One of the options we've seen used this week is exactly where John's just pointing to there, cutting off the path for that corner guard, come around, or another center.
So this turn. Yeah.
So looking like the team wants a halfway guard.
Well, some teams on the World Curling Tour have been experimenting with throwing it behind the corner guard and trying to cut it off, and basically trying to cut it off by a stone. In other words,
Never make the hit and roll off the top.
they've got to use up a stone to get that rock out of the way so they can utilize that corner guard.
Yeah, they don't go all the way under. They just kind of take away the path.
Correct. For Matt Cam here, trying to throw up the center guard. A little tighter than he would have liked.
Just hang around. Firm.
So critical that he does hang around here. That 5 rocks have passed, so there's no more protection of the 5 rock rule here.
Whoa. Yep. Hard.
David Mather's throwing the double
Whoa,
here.
whoa. Shooter, get the shooter over a little bit. Beauty. Shot.
Well done by David Mathers.
Shot, Davey.
Yeah.
So this is kind of going, Glenn likes this setup here now, because now he's kind of got the corner guards to work with. He's got a tight stone
A bit more, John.
that may even be splittable later in the end if he needed to. And or use it to run it back.
So Team Epping here are going to put
line's fine.
another guard out front. When they could have started peeling those corners.
Line's good.
Are you a little surprised that he didn't take off any of those yellows?
You want
3-point lead.
Well,
go for it, or we can just tap it in.
yes and no. You know,
Yeah.
as we've said
That's
before,
tough.
sometimes the best
There, though.
defense is an offense.
Problem is, this is then still
And,
buried.
Yeah, it's an inch over buried.
for John Epping, you know, you can
You like
You want
this?
to play with hack?
Yeah.
you could go up and try to make the
if it
the
overcurls,
peel.
we'll play the split.
You know, you can go up and make the peel, but if you don't make it, then all of a sudden you've kind of relinquished control
do
back
you like?
to
Hack.
Glenn. Right now, John's
Not like enough. Just bump into
he's
here.
maintaining
That-
control right
call.
now.
Good call.
Glenn's not wasting any time using this nicely positioned yellow stone. It's just outside the rings. He's asking David to tap it, just
Okay, like to go for weight.
Go then.
tap it into the rings near that blue Epping stone.
Like to go for weight.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
It's only your back
Yep.
line now.
Yep.
Your back line.
Yep.
Looking to
Hard
tap this back onto the
Hard
shot stone
Whoa.
and or make a split. He's going to poke this out in the
They
open.
swept it so hard, and they lost the
All right, you can
line
make the
on
hit
it.
and roll now. Sure, Dave.
Well, there's the challenge, is that John's going to be forced to play this stone, and now Glenn Howard will have the option to play the hit and roll on John's top one. So
Yeah.
So even though, like, David Mather's shot is actually good because he's kind of opened the path on the intern side to the shot stone.
And the guards are all still there for him to roll behind.
Well, for Ryan Fry here, vital to keep his shooter in the rings, and in John's eyes, keep it on the forefoot. Really going hard to keep this thing alive. Well, it stays alive,
Okay, so Dave was about just back line.
but that shot may hurt
Hack?
them later
Yep.
on in the end because it's in a position where
Dave's
they'd
been
rather not
bust
have
here.
it.
Hang on.
Scott Howard
Yep.
looking to make the intern hit and roll.
Hi, Tim.
good looking line
Hard,
on
Tim,
this.
Tim.
Gotta get it by
Tim
the
March
guard.
looking to hold this.
Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim. Whoa, yeah, keep going, gotta roll it, gotta roll it. Good sweeping, buddy.
No picnic.
That will weigh more.
Crowd really appreciating that shot.
You gotta love the fire in Scott Howard. Like, this kid just wants to win so bad.
Just thinking back to a shot that Glenn made yesterday afternoon through a port for 4, and literally Scott was lying on his belly on the ice calling the line. He was right into it.
Ryan Fry looking to try to make a hit through the port here.
This needs to come off the center.
Looking to carve this in here and get it so they don't jam it. Oh, what a shot by Ryan Fry. Wow, precision.
I think I gotta run it, boys.
Oh boy. Yeah.
You need a little weight. Ryan was pretty hard with that.
He should be able to chase it though if I make it.
Sweep that.
You could make that double too.
Okay.
Unless you want to try and get low.
Have to sweep it off the ice.
It's there.
It's definitely. Okay, let's try to get low.
Okay, so
That's the best shot.
solid hack.
Same weight.
What's really
think you
great
need
with
both.
only the one game going on is we can hear their entire conversation. All their options they talk about and the weight calls.
Yep. Hard.
Scott Howard
Hard.
went along with Father
Come on, Dave.
Glenn in 2012.
You
And
really
they
gotta
won the
go,
World
Dave.
Championships.
Come
He
on,
was their
Dave. You gotta
fifth
go, Dave.
man.
You gotta go, Dave. Come on,
Looking to
Dave.
get this
No.
by.
Nice
So
thing is he
close.
rolls big. We get one in there. I don't know.
Try. Didn't
Holds that
quite get out to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Ryan's went crazy, eh?
Problem with
That's what I was afraid of.
It wasn't easy. It was
Oh, no, it wasn't easy.
Then he goes there, yeah. I don't mind your first call.
Team
Oh, that's
Epping
the
just
perfect shot.
looking for a little split here on their own.
Actually, work at this right now.
Dave didn't really let him do it.
It's working.
Well, for John Epping here, you know,
You should have made that roll.
one, he's thrilled that it's a bit of a stress-free shot because he's not having to make anything circus-like right now. But still, he's going to try to come down and just tap his stone up and sort of keep some angles going, whereas it's difficult for Glenn Howard to get position.
Back 4.
Yeah.
Back 4 here. I thought back 4.
back 4, back 8.
Not much kick here. Go.
Take it back.
Back 8.
Great shot, Sean.
Pretty much what he called.
Hit and roll?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Great throw,
Take that
Johnny.
same turn.
Okay.
Well,
Forward?
the challenge for Glenn Howard here
Good.
Yeah.
is if
Yeah, if you leave
if
it
he
half
does not make this hit and roll,
open, I know.
Yeah, if I miss the roll, it's not good.
yeah, if he misses the roll, it's not good at all because John will draw the intern side and bite the top of the button.
That's the best spot.
half buried, and
I think we get it there this way.
I think he's got both shots though.
yeah,
They're looking at
Come off
drawing
his
now.
own.
Yeah.
I think come off his own.
Yeah, let's just make this, boys. Forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it.
Well, I fully expect that Glenn's going to be very close on this. It's one of those shots that, if he noses it and then John makes the hit and roll, buried.
I know. That's
Yeah,
why
they're
I
looking for
wanted
about a
some more.
2-foot roll here. That will no doubt he'll make the hit. It's whether or not he'll roll under cover.
Yeah.
And it will leave the draw as well for John Epping.
Well, if he rolls too far, he'll throw the in-turn draw to the top of the button, and Glenn at that point might be hard pressed to score.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Close.
Whoa.
Real close.
Yep.
Real close.
Whoa, whoa.
Close.
Tim.
Close.
Tim.
No, no, no.
Tim.
No, yeah.
Keep it, Tim. I'm screaming at you.
Oh boy. Just rolls too far.
100%.
Sorry, guys. I didn't think it was that heavy.
Well, it kind of spun back in at the end.
Sorry, Go. I didn't think it was
Spun
that
pretty
heavy.
hard.
He's out counting that one at the back, isn't he?
Well, they're taking a hard look at it because
If they leave a double here.
That also should have curled more.
well, I don't think there's going to be a double. I think the
You look at the bump, maybe?
If-
It might be we know this spot here for speed. This is sort of.
Yeah, rolled out.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta tell you, it's heavy.
Do you like that? That's there too.
Is it close or you think it's out?
No response?
Ryan's scratching his head.
2-second shot.
It kind of makes a difference because
they
if
are.
John tries
we
to
are.
play the in-turn tap on his own, if he leaves a double, it could set up a 2 for Glenn.
Right.
And if they are definitely second shot,
Yeah.
You're sure too?
I think so. Yeah.
I might as well get another.
That's not even close.
I like.
Got those young eyes looking at that from Matt Kama. This is not even
right on
close,
those.
guys.
yeah. The guy that doesn't wear glasses or contacts has
Yeah.
to look at it.
No, but we got to go. How far out you got to go? You're going to hit that blue one 90% of the time.
So trying to draw around a rock that's almost biting the forefoot.
We'll go into the button then.
Originally they were going to throw the outturn, and now they've switched back to the intern.
Well, the out turn just goes sideways, and I think their concern was as if he was probably going to almost rack on his own, regardless of how wide he went.
This is just a better track here, Johnny.
For Glenn Howard, he's going to end up having to navigate over there.
So your last one was good weight, Johnny. It was back 8.
For John Epping, trying to make the in-turn draw and bite the top of the button. Last rock here for John Epping in this 4th end of play.
You can stay close to it.
We are here at the Ontario Provincial Curling Championships in Cornwall, Ontario.
See, top 4.
We're a little heavy.
Little heavy here. Back 4.
If he's heavy, he will open the door for Glenn Howard to draw down to it.
Okay, John.
Wow.
Maybe
It's funny they didn't. There wasn't a call earlier in that
Turn a little bit.
on that release.
Glenn picks the outturn. I mean, look at how much Epping's rock curled. It over curled the button by a full foot at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So no shortage of curl on our surface
I know,
today,
I'm thinking the
or
same
it hasn't been all week actually.
Well, for Glenn Howard, he's going wider than what he's thrown
Yeah, I'm leaving him.
earlier in the game,
Pretty close to normal.
and he's throwing against 3 blue Epping stones. Last rock here for Glenn Howard in the 4th end,
I got real good.
looking to get a piece of the forefoot to get his
Okay,
single.
line's good.
I don't know how it's going to run. Should run fine.
Line's really good.
Has it curled?
Line's perfect. Line's good. Easy, Dave. Get ready. Yep. Yep, yep.
14 and a half.
You're by.
Good shot.
Shot. Oh, fuck, that came down, eh?
Well, that's a heck of a shot by Glenn Howard here to finish this 4th end. He will pick up his single point. We'll trail by a score of 4-2.
A little bit scary times there, Ian. They're calling
Get it
back
out there with
4.
angle.
Once it gets sliding in that path, it's hard to get it to stop.
Well, I think he had a little slow handle on it, and it seemed to wind in at the end,
I didn't
and,
realize it was that heavy.
and it
could
took
see it
off a
coming
bunch
in.
of
I
weight
thought,
as
okay, this
well.
could be perfect. I was smoking. Yeah.
We are in the Howard defense section here.
I didn't know it was that heavy. Anyway, that's too bad.
They're loud and supportive.
Reading the ice, that's the hardest part.
So it's hard to make a precise hit and roll right now.
Oh,
So I
it's
was kind
pretty-
of
oh, yeah.
wondering maybe the draw.
14.
Team Howard needs to
think we're
needs to
getting
steal
there.
here.
We
They
gotta
need to get
force-
some
we gotta
kind
force it a
of
little bit here.
energy going.
Yeah, I
I do
think so.
too. Let's go.
Force, well, mind you, force and
Yeah, it's not
Throw
bad.
the tight one first,
5,
Dan, and then we'll
6.
go
We
from
can tie it up if we just a straight force. We can tie it after 8.
there. I still think we're throwing the tight one. I don't think he's taking
Wow, they're already thinking ahead to the 8th end.
Well, the doubles, the double guard is the best way to force too.
Yeah.
So.
So there's actually
Go.
a positive for these 10-end format, is there's, again, still lots of time here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're not even halfway through this
whatever.
game yet, and there's still lots of rocks that are being thrown. So
That wasn't easy. No.
Epping team are just quietly going about their business here, though. Making their shots,
Yeah.
not having, leaving John in a situation where he has to throw the circus shot, as you mentioned,
Right around this, put it in a good spot.
which he really loves, though. And he makes a lot of them.
well, if you watch Tim
Line's
March
good.
here, I would think that
Where?
90% of his throws are interns.
Okay, well,
Starting to curl.
it's halfway right now.
Well, get it here then.
He just keeps
Looks
throwing
real
up
good.
that
Keep
intern
going, Dave.
guard,
I don't
which
think you
is
hurt it. Can't hurt it, Dave.
all
Yep,
that
yep,
the
you
Howard
can go,
team
you can go,
needs
you can
at
go.
this point.
You can go.
Shot, Tim.
Shot. Shot, Tim.
Brent Lang going to try to do what he's done all game long and continue to monopolize the top of the forefoot.
Top 8. Top 4. We're there.
Sit, 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 sit.
Probably curling close to 100% right now.
Wow.
Can't think of one that he's missed yet.
I think we're going to see
Weight's good. Line should be pretty good.
Tim March
Room
put
right
up
now.
a second
all there.
center guard.
Line should be real good. Oh, then.
Weight's
oh,
good.
it's not curling. Got a bit. Yep. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Keep going. You got to go. Get across that line. Cross that line. Oh, oh.
Shot,
Real
Tim.
good, Tim. Attaboy.
Two great stones by Tim March here in the fifth end of play.
John asking Brent to glue another one on here. Come right down to the corner of his own.
Weight's close. Weight's good.
Top 8. Hard. Hard, Matt.
We're there.
Just top 8. Hard, 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 hard.
We're there. Now you got to move something, Dave. I think you try to move
Well,
that top 8
Brent
one.
Lang
can.
has just
Which
put a lot of
probably intern.
pressure on Dave
Yeah,
Mathers
We're
here.
warping there. Just try and tap it, Dave.
Great throw, Langer.
Dave Mathers now is going to try to
At
jiggle
least.
Back
these
Get on
stones
the
around
angle. You're good.
just to create something for the Howard team.
You got to go for it, Davey.
You know, the first stone sometimes is a bit of a what do I call? It's basically lamb
Hey,
fodder.
back 12.
You're essentially
Close.
putting it out
Close.
there because
Yep.
you know that they're going to hit it, but
Watch
you're just
weight.
trying to make sure
Whoa.
that you create an
Close.
angle.
Yep. 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 Hard, Dave. Hard, Tim. Hard,
Needing
Tim.
to get
Hard,
this
Tim.
by his own
Okay,
guard
Scott,
here.
Go, Scott.
Good
Scott, go
looking
now.
shot coming here from Dave Mathers.
Good shot, though.
Shot.
Taps it around.
A little heavy.
Yeah.
And he does move it to the back of the rings. It
Try to get them both. Might even get
Shot,
them.
Dave.
looks like possibly, well, his options are to hit that one that Dave just put there or clear the front. Looks like they're going to go for the clearing shot.
I don't know.
Matt Cam throwing the bullet here.
I don't know if I like that, Rob.
Well, by Matt only getting the one, it's going to give
Love to get it to
try to
there.
get low. Yep.
David
exactly.
Mathers the opportunity to get
know if I
really
like
nice
that, Rob.
position, and hopefully they can't get it out.
Yeah, looks like it.
No, like right out of my hand. Felt pretty good.
Okay, it's top 4.
Okay, go then.
Sorry, man.
Weight's good. We're not
Lines of hair tight. You got to go line.
top 8, top 12.
You got to go hard line. Really hard line. Really hard line. Come on, go. You got to go hard. You still got it. But you got to go hard. You got to go hard. You got to go hard. You got to. Okay, we'll bump this. Raise the yellow ones. Move the yellow over and guard it.
Get Tim. Yep.
Okay.
Probably a little bit light on that. Rubs off their own guard. Does provide a little bit of cover for
Didn't quite get out
the
there,
yellow
maybe?
stone that's sitting in the full 8 foot.
Well, now for Matt Cam, if he can make a little hit and flop inside, Glenn Howard is going to be in trouble. He's going to have to start running back with Scott Howard's stones just to sort of try to save the end.
Easy. Easy. No chance.
Trying to carve this in here.
Well, good enough. Ryan Fry doesn't have quite the sweeping ability of a Tim Marks to carve it, but it's still effective enough.
Hair up, John? Hair up? Yeah, okay.
How aggressive do you want to go, boys?
Yeah, no, that's.
Can I make the double and stay?
Yep. Actually, the triple's there, but
I know. I thought about that too.
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't stop force killing us.
That's fine, Scott. That's real good, actually, to
Okay.
make that. I think you could throw solid normal.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't get the finish that we were
Close.
mentioning would be so gold.
Whoa, Tim. Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, he's looking to make the double here if he can.
Hard. Hard.
Scott Howard.
Hard. Gotta go. You gotta go. Hard.
Wow. Just curled up at the end on him. They kind of missed the sweep.
I think so.
Well, for Ryan
You gotta
Fry
switch
here,
Fry and just sink one in there.
if he happens to win this game
Oh, he's
with
actually
the
more
Epping
recent
team, he will be the first member in Canada to ever represent 4 different provinces at the Briar.
That's what I'm seeing.
He's been there with Manitoba, Northern Ontario,
way harder.
and Newfoundland.
Oh yeah.
Ontario would be his 4th. Ontario's Earl Morris has represented 3.
Top 4.
Manitoba,
Top
Quebec,
4.
and Ontario.
Top 4. On its own right now. Real close.
Big thanks to Mike Harris for sending along that fun fact.
It might all go, eh, boys?
Wow,
Throw it, Ryan.
good shot by Ryan Fry, but there is an angle there.
Back, eh?
That's fine. I think you make this double, I'm pretty happy. I think you got to play it, Scott.
Yeah, hair low.
The only other option is to try
I
and
like
get
the run.
See, it curls a bit
Yeah.
more coming in there.
turn.
In turn.
In.
Yeah. Threw this in the first end. I didn't get much.
He's got to make a perfect.
You said in.
Yeah.
Really need to make the triple now. Glenn said he'd be more than happy if he makes the double.
Well, even more importantly, if he stuffs it, they'll have position.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Gotta go.
Just
Gotta
curling
go.
hard at the end on him.
All right.
Oh my gosh, so
Still
close
2.
again.
Almost makes the triple.
It actually only ends up
always
removing
proves
one
right.
of the Epping stones.
Always prove that's better though. I got a shot.
Gets rid of
Well,
Lots of
Wow.
usable rocks, though, still in play for Team
What do you think
Howard.
about the double
Well,
heel,
for
Ryan?
Glenn Howard, he's thrilled the fact that regardless of what John Epping does here,
question
he's
is
got
that yellow
2
goes
guards
on
out front, That's the other option they've got, is that do they throw the double peel thinking that, you know, they can get a deuce from what's
I
left.
remember that. I was thinking the same thing. I hate this. This could get ugly for him.
He has to play this.
If it gets too thick, it can
Yeah.
really in.
Okay, you like the out, let's play the out. I don't like the out because it's dead straight. Right. What do you got to hit? 2/3.
There's more action with the in, though.
God, what do you like? I don't know. Hit and roll.
John Epping not going to take any chances here. He's going to get Ryan Fry to make the double peel and roll off. Really close. May spill it in the rings. Wow. Well, that got a little lucky. He bounced across the face of his own stone in the house. I think he was initially thinking he was going to actually go underneath.
And if he had made contact with that yellow one, it may have
There's no real
redirected it.
unless I go there.
I think you hit for now.
Two's not awful.
Hit for now.
Okay. This is going to curl. Normal?
There's a chance here for him to hit this and
Oh, yeah. Yep.
be shot and under
Just got to
cover.
make a roll. This is going to curl. I got that with normal.
Ow.
I think that's ballpark, eh?
I was. It's, yeah,
Well, for John Epping right now, he's currently laying 2, and as we said earlier, he'd love to get a 2 kind of risk-free, which when you get the 4 foot wide open, hopefully it is risk-free, that he can always score. Glenn Howard's first stone in this 5th end of play.
this should curl.
Hard! Really hard, Tim! Hard, Tim! You gotta go to stay! Go, go, go! Hard, right to it, right to it, right to it. Quiet?
Even
Really? Just curl.
you know, they even knew it was going to curl there, and they still, you know, got caught in that
They'll
spot.
have to draw around it.
I think it's really hard for them to believe that when they're taking, you know, 6, 8 inches of ice and they're throwing normal, that it's going to curl across the face.
So good, John.
I was thinking of freezing. Oh, never.
They're not used to those those kind of conditions. So John Epping is going to hit this Howard Stone sitting in the top of the 12 foot.
Yeah.
Control!
Looking to hang around and not roll the center line.
Good, John.
That's a great stone by John Epping.
I think so. Okay.
Well, for Glenn Howard here, this is gut check time, because he's kind of putting the game on the line here.
Minimum, isn't it? That's close.
T-line, boys.
This is kind of like you got a pair of 7s and you're pushing all in.
Yeah.
Let's see if it pays off for him. He has to bury this.
Gotta go a long way, though, boys. Okay. T-line.
Well, the only thing that we have not seen, I think we saw Holly Duncan do it yesterday, was draw from here
And he has some backing.
over to that side of the house.
Okay, you got room.
We haven't seen many of those shots. And even going around corner guards on that side of the sheet, we have not.
Really got to curl. It's wide open right now. Curl it. Well,
It's got to curl like
hey,
5
line's
feet.
getting good. Easy, Tim.
Whoa,
easy.
whoa, whoa!
Whoa, whoa. It's always Tim's rock.
Back 4.
Looking to get this buried if they can.
Hard, Tim. Oh, you go, buddy, go. More.
Well, that is just curled so much.
Wow, that's a huge shot by Glenn Howard.
Quarter, John, ish.
Now looking to go after that with hack weight. And if he taps it through the rings, it could be another 3 big points for John
That's what
Epping.
I'm seeing.
game.
I love that broom. Nail that weight.
Hard to get it out, I think.
It's got an inch.
I think your speed's great here.
Only sweeping I don't like.
So this is our last rock in the 5th end.
John Epping here. This he
like
may
he-
have got this.
Set back a bit.
Weight's perfect.
Gotta hold this now. It's starting to curl. Can they hold it? Good looking line. Can they get it by? Oh, great shot. Can they get it far enough to get the 3rd point?
Not far enough.
Well, that's going to be 2 huge points for John Epping, though.
That's fine.
So close to getting his 3.
Wow, that's
Carve that
2
in nice.
big points. That's a 6-2 lead for John Epping after the 5th end of play.
Good, buddy.
Gotta go deep here, though. We need at least to do.
We will take a quick break here as the players take their 5-minute break.
It was really buried.
It was 73.
So on behalf of Curlon and TSL, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to continuing coverage of our Ontario Men's Provincial Curling Championships. Our feature game here between Penetang's Glenn Howard against Leaside's John Epping. At our fifth end break, we did have a presentation to our hit draw tap winners. All our kids get the opportunity to represent Ontario at the Brier. And great event for these kids just to be honored and be out on this Ontario provincial ice, get a chance to show their stuff.
They're as young as 6. The youngest category is 6 to 8. I just love it.
14-3.
Well, Brent Lang has just thrown the first stone of this sixth end of play. He's going to go just to the back 8 foot.
Throw that same weight, Tim.
Well, Barb, an exciting
well.
first half of the game. What do you expect to see from the Howard squad for this back half?
Well, first off, I think they need to have maybe some more rocks in play, their rocks in play. I find the game has really been a little one-sided in that Glenn's been chasing for the first 5
Can you go
ends.
tight? Yeah, you're going.
So they need to
Looks like
get
it's
some of
really
their
sliding.
rocks in better position,
Line's real
maybe
good.
turn the tide a little bit on
Whoa,
John
boys.
Epping,
Whoa,
make him
whoa,
chase.
Shit.
No, weight's perfect.
I know they're playing from a from the
John's
deficit position, but I think if they again stay patient, get more rocks in play, they'll have their chance for a bigger score, for a big score, more than a single anyhow.
You know, this is where I sort of mentioned earlier that Brent Lang has been doing a phenomenal job getting his stones in position, and it makes it difficult for the Howard team to try to get their stones in a position. You know, it's
I find they've been a little bit on the wrong side of the inch though in this game.
and that can easily switch. You know, you just got to keep grinding.
Case in point, Brent put his first one here in the back 8.
Yeah, and Glenn's going to use that. Like that's, I know John would rather that rock be in the hack than back there. Tim marched through his tight corner guard and will try to
No, it looks close.
guard his guard.
Line's tighter.
Really got to stop.
Yeah, it's definitely short.
Less rotation.
Not that much though. Okay, Tim, that works. It's good.
Well done. So here we go again. So this time John's going to shake things up and get Matt Cam to try to cut off the corner. And he doesn't want to be fully buried. He just wants to be maybe have a corner buried. But for Matt Cam, the one place you cannot go is behind the tee line. And that is looking deep. Matt Cam, the local boy here this week.
Yeah, maybe this is the call first.
Along with brother Jason.
Not really, David. Could definitely jam. Yeah, get this lost. I do too.
Well, David Mather's just going to try to
Hey, that's back
draw
8.
around the
Back
corner
8.
guard.
How heavy?
Back 8.
This one then?
Yeah, we can get there for fun. It's like almost back 12.
Over. Oh no. Line's perfect.
It
Can't be
really has to stop.
Is it?
No, it's all there. It's all there. You can't touch it, Tim.
David coming up a little heavy here.
Well, if he
Good.
goes through the rings,
He threw that hard. He threw it hard.
well, we've seen it all week long. You come back here in the sixth end, the ice gets to sit for 5 minutes or so as they mop. It seems to cure a little bit, and hence get a little extra speed. I think this is where the players are getting caught. Matt Cam looking to make the single peel here.
Same shot.
Trying to get them both.
No, that's the shot, Tim.
Well, for David Mathers, this is a second opportunity to get his stone behind the corner guard.
It's back 4, back 8.
Line's good.
Throw it too late for us.
Line's good.
T-line. Max T.
Yep.
Top 4 T.
Hard line.
Back 4.
Over curl. You gotta go. You gotta. Okay, you're by.
Back 4.
Not Tim. Not Tim. Line's pretty good.
Better weight on
That's
this one.
15-5 on that. That just
You can
sort of
no,
shows.
you can go.
Yeah, go
You can
Vic.
go.
Go
You
Vic.
can
Go
go.
Vic.
think so.
Shot, Dave.
Shot, Davey.
Well, this is the challenge for John Epping here, because
I think you feel the guard, eh, buddy?
I can chase it, John.
Shot.
if he doesn't get the shot stone, or not shot stone, but the Howard stone and the 8 foot,
That much?
Glenn will probably
Okay,
freeze
Hawk's
to
good.
the red that
We gotta be sharp on this.
of Brent Lang's that he threw there in the first stone at the end. Ryan Fry, the 41-year-old.
Say never 10.
Yep. Great split. Yep. Great straight.
Trying to keep this straight.
Whoa. Whoa. Langer.
Spin it up a bit. Good.
Wow. What touch by Ryan Fry.
Got a hit.
You know, in my opinion, he was one of the guys that helped get Brad Gushu on the map. You know,
Nice
he,
throw it, Ryan.
previously it was
Right.
Russ Howard, but then when Ryan Fry went there, he helped make that team a better team.
The boys think that's minimum.
You know, that, I think he went to Brad Jacobs, and I think he made them a better team. So all of a sudden now he's with John Epping. I think he's making John Epping a better team.
Well, and we've heard John Epping say that this is the best team he's ever had. This lineup.
They should be able to get a 15 there.
Line's good.
Make it good, boys. Got a curl. Yep.
15-2 I got on Dave.
Whoa,
No
whoa,
offense
whoa,
to his
whoa.
previous
Whoa,
teammates,
whoa,
but
no. Dave, you
On
can go,
Brad's
Dave.
father
Dave, you can go.
was the
Go,
Briar
lock it in.
champion in 1979.
Shot, Coleman.
Looks like a jam. Or there's a hole. I think it goes through the hole.
Near his eye.
Right in the nose. Hair high.
Hopefully, James.
Well,
Jams might hit the
You like this?
I think so.
Okay. Look.
well, his other option here is just to follow him down and freeze to
Over
him.
here.
No. What happens?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'll be close, and if not, it goes right into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we going for?
Well,
we're
just
going no near
clarifying
high.
sort of the position of the stones down there, because the guys don't have a perfect view
you're right.
and what the separation is.
And often you'll see them go take a look,
Really
just
hard.
so that they know exactly what the situation
Really
is.
hard.
Ryan Fry, Matt Kemp trying to hold this. Really close. Oh, what a shot. Picking that through the hole.
Nice throw, Ryan.
It almost looked like it had over curled, but it was perfect.
Well, for young Scott Howard here,
Yeah.
just going to almost throw the identical shot and hopefully get it welded on the stone in the back 4.
I'd have pound
One
less.
thing I got to work on is
Line's real good.
up to speed.
Running better, boys.
Oh, you got to go line.
I'm dead.
Really got to go line.
Hard, Tim.
Freeze the top one. Whoa.
Yeah, it's curling. Whoa. Leave an angle. Yep.
Yep.
15-5 on this.
Hard.
Okay. Oh,
Jeez.
Not what they
Because
were looking
then
for,
he's
about
gonna
about 6 feet short on weight.
I think so.
Team Epping are going to have a little gathering here and have a look at their options.
He's got a nose hit.
Okay.
Where are you trying to go here, John? Yeah, I like that.
Split the center line.
Well, I think
good.
for John Epping here, he's just trying to cut off any type of line that
Priscilla,
Glenn
quick
can
stuff
take
here.
to get to those stones in the back of the 4-foot. So if he gets that half on the button,
Yeah.
that would be the
And
optimum
John?
position for him.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm getting the exact same. Yeah.
I find the Epping team are playing very calmly and very patiently.
Oh, okay. Well,
We're there right now.
John Epping's
Real
first
close.
stone in this 6th end of play. We are in Cornwall here for this men's
Just line
Ontario
here,
Provincial
back
Championship.
four.
it's okay. Just don't leave a pocket.
It's trying.
Slip a little deep.
It's not bad, John.
You ever bomb this?
Sorry.
How many do I get rid of?
I don't know.
I think we gotta lock it in there.
What's that?
What do you think?
But I thought I was in the hunt.
I don't see
didn't
anything
think I
else.
was. No, I know. Yeah, I
Right
didn't
up
think
there,
it.
What do you got? It's good?
Similar.
Got to get
Yeah.
in there now.
The
Okay.
rocks feel
This
like
is
carrying
kind of
us.
like my old baseball analogy, you know, you put the hands on the bat to see
Yeah,
who
I'll slide
Yeah.
a little slower. I'll slide a little slower.
to see
Who's
who
up first?
Who's up first?
Trying to make this thing
And what do they call it when you put your
real good.
fingers sideways on top of it?
Oh, instead of your fists?
Yes.
Sorry.
It's kind of what it looks like back there with all all the blue stones right now. Glenn Howard with his first stone of the 6th end, looking to lock it on with the freeze on the back
kidding.
4
Looks
foot.
really hard.
Oh, that's
Not bad.
not what we want to hear.
Dave. Dave. Hard, Dave.
That's 14-8.
Hard, Dave. Go, keep going.
Oh,
Keep
he's
going.
just carving
Go,
it
go,
in
you
here.
beauty. Go. Shot.
Weight really came off of that once it took the curl.
Yeah, I know.
Well, for John Epping, it's the opportunity here.
I said, this
He
is
can
nice.
actually, I believe, get shot. Maybe we can get a shot of the overhead view of the
Same
house
everything.
again.
Yeah, same shot, bud.
The exact same shot.
Looks like that button is exposed. And if he gets it there, Glenn's in tough.
He does still have that little frozen situation in the front of the rings, but
John Epping, last rock of the
be
6th
right
end of
on.
play.
Real close.
Well, he looks like he's got lots of line here.
Hard. Half the line.
Oh, tons of line.
Wait, good.
Tons of line. It's all about weight. I
Little
think they've-
bounce here, tight T.
14-7. He's got a little bit more than Glenn. They may have overcooked it here. Well, for Glenn Howard, this
If you ever pick the yellow,
could be a
We're
massive
down.
point.
we need to score. I think.
Can if I bomb it on the nose, where's this going? How do I score?
I don't think the 6 goes.
Oh, this, you got to jam this, you mean. I see. If I bomb it on the nose, this is a 3.
Yeah.
Can I score, though? Will I score?
I don't think that's there, Dave.
Or this?
Yeah.
I could pick my own in this ball game, but
Of course, we got to make a shot to score. So
I think this is, but I got it. You got to hit this real.
I
It's
don't
gonna,
think-
Well,
it's gonna drag, right?
those
'Cause
are
of
the
the rocks are
words.
so dead.
I know.
right.
He's got to score.
This one?
Because if he goes down 7-2,
You don't think I can get? I just got to paper the blue, right? Like it only has to redirect by 2 inches.
Just looking to promote
drag-
I
that
think you hit
blue one
7/8,
just a
it's not going
touch.
anywhere.
You think it's gonna just drag too much?
I think it just.
No, I'm thinking this, Tim. This is what I'm looking at here.
Oh, that.
This.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I think that is that not the only way to score?
I don't think you can throw it hard enough and hit it too thin.
Manageable weight.
What do you see? You don't think it's there?
Ever
come
came
on,
back
the
on
shot,
your own
boys. You
yellow,
can't just
we'd
sit
be
here and
shaking
not
hands.
talk.
well, and Glenn did
Oh,
to make
try
that
this then.
point.
You got to pick this. You think that goes?
I don't think it's a 2. Nothing moves, but
Just hit this.
you
It's
hit that. You
get
can
it for
definitely
1.
score that way. Okay.
Well, for Glenn Howard,
It's because he.
he believes that this is his only option to try to score this in, which is to angle run
You did.
Oh, you think it's
yeah,
going to drag
you
that
did.
way?
his corner guard into the Epping
exact-
stone
This is the
that is
exact
frozen
shot
to
I did.
his on
It's
the top
landed
of the
in
button.
Needs to get that frozen stone moving.
So
Fix
it's,
third.
And this is just for 1.
Glenn Howard is last rock here in the 6th end.
Real close. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
Looking to
Hard.
make the angle run in.
Hard, Tim. You gotta go. Gotta go.
Really
gotta go,
close.
Gotta go.
Not at all. Unfortunate for the Howard team, but that will be a stolen point for the Epping team. They will lead 7-2 after 6 ends of play.
Good throws, John.
Thanks.
Nice throws.
You know,
man.
Glenn's first draw, unfortunately, just, went that much too far, left the pinhole available for John Epping. And he made it. You have to give
It just curled like crazy.
you have to give him
Well-
props for making that such an excellent shot.
Well, for John, he's looking to get back to his second briar.
I said hard. Curled the pepper lock.
For Brent Lang, he'd be looking to get to his 13th briar.
Fry's got a few.
Matt Cam would be looking to get to his 3rd briar. And Ryan Fryer would be looking to get to
Line's
his
great.
12th briar.
Line's great. Line's pretty good.
So John on this team
Should
has
get
got
here.
the
It's
least
gonna get here.
experience at that national
Okay,
level.
line's great. Top of the button. Top of the button. Okay, this is really curling now, boys. Really curling. Top of the button. Hard. Top of the button.
Completely different sheet.
Another beauty by Brett Lang.
Well, when this game is over, if they happen to win this,
Thanks.
I think Brent Lang would be one of those keys to this victory.
Yeah. It's fast. It's fast in there. Yeah.
The fact that John Epping hasn't had to make any circus shots is a real true testament to how well his
halfway
team
right
is
now,
playing
halfway
in front of
tight.
him.
We'll go tight then.
Yep. You can go, Dave. You can go.
One of the 2.
Yep. You can go.
Well, hats off to our ice makers. As you can see, this ice has been fantastic. They're out in the middle of the 12-foot to go to the button.
We have to go there, eh?
The wait has been consistently 14 and a half to 15 seconds,
Switch it up.
even keener at times.
There's lots of curl on both sides.
Okay,
and
line's good.
Equal opportunity to get to the button,
Running a little tighter line, but it's
regardless
all
of the
good.
turn they
We're there
choose.
right now, John.
Whoa.
Right, looks like it's to it.
Hard.
Well,
Hard then.
To it.
Hard.
And with that kind of curl, there's no safe spot out
Hard,
here.
Matt.
Everything is
Keep going, Matt.
reachable.
Keep going, brother. Come on. It's good.
Same weight, Cameron.
well, here's an interesting sort of fact here. As you look at Glenn here, this is the first time where he's kind of thrown opposite corner guards. He's been throwing 2 on one side each time. Mind you,
More, Dave.
when
Come on,
Tim
bro.
kind of goes in the middle there, hence he's kind of now
Looks
going.
close.
His only option really is to go to the other side.
Yeah, I saw pretty
Looks real
close.
close.
Yeah, based on where it stopped, it would have to be
Easy
like
goal.
just
Easy,
over the
easy,
hog
easy.
line.
Shot, Tim.
Got Tim.
You may see.
Cut off this corner, I guess.
You're kind of going here, no?
Well, this shot surprised me if he
Gonna run
goes
that
to the
same speed
rings.
I
I
see the
think
wing here.
more rocks in play at
Like
this
here.
point only help Glenn Howard.
Yeah.
But he might
Okay.
even try to tick the Howard
Same
stone
speed
into
as
the
that wing
rings.
shot.
Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. That looks hard.
Don't think I needed to give it.
Close. Fry! Whoa.
Oh, you're by it.
Whoa.
You're by it.
No.
Well, the only thing that John doesn't want to do is do that.
Is that.
Yeah, I think going around the corner, boys.
Swept it.
Well, the problem is that he's grouped a bunch of rocks there, and now there's a massive pocket.
Finally confident on that one.
Okay, we're all there. Just
Close.
line. Just line.
Starting to really go.
Weight's
Gotta go
all
line.
there. Yeah, hard.
Really gotta go.
Hard.
Come on, Tim.
Hard, Tim.
Come on, Tim.
David Mather's
Hard,
trying to
Tim.
get this around the corner guard.
Tim.
Okay, off now. Good sweeping.
Held that like crazy.
Can I go?
Nope. Yep.
Shot. Shot, Dave.
Well,
What?
John's just going to be patient here with Matt Cam.
straight
Just
as
peel off the corner guard,
What's happening this one?
and he's really hoping that he catches it really thin,
Whoa! Fry.
and maybe catches one of his rocks on the forefoot, just to disturb the angles.
Get over.
Ooh. Just enough for Matt Cam.
Pretty fresh.
Shot. Good shooting.
Team Howard will go around their other corner now.
Could have made that better for you. Just tick it all the way back.
Well, and here's the thinking is that
Okay, it's a pound more.
he goes around the corner
good.
guard. John
good.
may go walk over and play the
Easy,
open
Scott.
stone. He can go around the
Line's
corner
real
guard
good.
again.
Yeah.
No, it's
Then
pound
at
heavy.
some
Don't
point-
think you're gonna have to go, Tim.
Glenn is going to have to start removing rocks in the
Overburied if you
center.
can.
Okay. Yeah, keep going. Whoa. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. 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 Shot.
Shot.
Yeah.
Well, for Ryan
Normal?
Fry, if he could actually,
I can't take any of ours out, so.
That slid way better, Davey.
I was going to hit
Do it, buddy.
thick, like
didn't
like
think it
a
was
thick
18.
half and roll it right to there.
he would love to roll right to center line to take the pocket away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I only had like 4.
If he does that, I think you might see Glenn
Yep. Whoa.
start to make a little bit of
Whoa.
a movement
Yep.
on those
Whoa.
blues.
Ryan Fry,
Yep.
his first stone here in the 7th into play.
Gonna start moving some stuff.
Ryan Fry's had
What
a
if I
pretty good
tapped
game
it
too.
and rolled
Oh, he's
2
got a great
inches?
game.
Roll where?
This way.
Yeah, if you go there, there's no way it's got.
Oh, it
coming up.
doesn't? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's going nowhere. Because it probably if you tap it, you could run it through.
Oh, that's fine. Out turn? Yeah. Out turn. Pound heavy, pound heavy. Whoa, whoa, Dave, whoa.
How heavy? If you're bumping,
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
whoa, 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 Tim.
Always Tim.
Yeah, you got to go hard. Hard, Tim. Hard.
Line's
Tim.
good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So I said we couldn't move it.
Over curve.
Well,
Such a game of precision.
the question is there a hole there?
I wouldn't even try.
I think nose is close to going. Yeah.
Nose takes a few blues with it though, doesn't it?
I just never had to get, no. I just never had to get you moving it. No, we weren't.
I think nose 3 of our blues are in the house.
It literally went sideways the last 7 feet.
I was thinking peel. Well, I actually
hats
think
off
I actually think
All of
this
our
might
TSL
hit
crew
this,
this week
and this
that
might
have
get that.
spent
Like
countless
before
hours
this hits,
bringing
do you know what I mean?
this live
Like I think this might
streaming
go, and then
footage
this might come in at it.
to
but
everyone around the world.
do you know what I? Do you?
People like Gray Slim,
I don't hate the hack
Taylor
call, I just-
Welsh, Gary Lazar, Zia
I
Khalid,
actually think it ticks
Colin
this
Grant
first,
have just
which
done a
allows that to get
magnificent
that.
job. So thank you.
Dead nose.
Notice that
I
a
was
lot of
seeing
our
it.
viewers are taking the opportunity
Sorry, spin
to.
turn fry again?
Well,
They don't
yeah,
have
whatever.
to watch it
Yeah.
live because
You know this
the
spot,
feed
you
is
threw it in
available.
that.
I'll just put the
The
broom
copy of
wherever.
the game is available immediately after the game is over. So
In.
it looks like people have been taking advantage of that and watching it at their leisure, either
good, Ryan.
when the
at
game's
the
long
broom.
over.
Yeah, I'll get back there.
Ryan Fry's going to try to force this out. See if he can thread the needle. Oh my God.
Good try.
How good is he throwing the stone right now?
Try.
It is dialed right in.
Just curled a little too much. I think we do get the back one.
Well, for Glenn Howard now,
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
okay. What can we do to set up a 3?
I think a little higher we get it. No.
Can I get there?
That's real tough.
Or do I-
Actually, you're
do I
right.
just throw it hard? Make this.
No, 100%.
What?
Does that
I
make
think
the double and
Glenn's
roll,
initial
right?
call,
That's going
just
nowhere.
hit
I
and
don't know, that
roll
might
behind
go
the
under
corner
there.
guard
That's fine.
because
Oh,
the
you can't-
triple
can't
is
lose
there
that.
for
Oh, no.
Glenn. And by nose hitting
That
the
could
other
definitely
one.
go into here.
As long as it just touches this, it goes to the top.
You got to hit that real skinny there
right.
to hit that.
What else do you see?
The only thing I can think see is that.
Oh,
Get,
I don't like
get
that.
too buried.
Yes.
That's not bad. If you could dead jam that. It's not awful.
Does it make sense just to nose this? Make this and nut it? Hopefully this gets to here. Right?
Yeah. Well, we could do that. Like, and if it just curls up here, you dead nut that,
Yeah.
which is still pretty good.
Right on the nose.
What do you think? Normal?
I think you need a bit of weight. Firm? Then that black yellow is never going to count, Dave. I got to get that blue out of there, don't I?
Put weight forward to firm.
Or do I can I make the roll?
The other option's this. You chisel that and go into the pocket and
No, I don't like that. If I throw normal, can I hit and roll?
I kind of want to use them. That's the problem. We're moving them out of the way.
Can I make the roll off the center line one?
No. Yep.
I think that might be the call, boys.
Yeah, you can. You go around the horn.
Huge discussion here on their options.
I don't hate that.
Doesn't matter.
Well, the challenge is that
Yep,
you know
yep.
there may not be a
Right.
perfect option here, but he's just trying to get it
Normal.
in a spot where he can, and it's difficult to visualize exactly where the rocks will end up. You know, he's got a 2 going here, but he's going to have to do something with the Epping stones in the middle, and he's only got 3 rocks to come.
Yep.
Still, but
Hard. 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 Whoa. Don't go that yellow. Okay. Spin. Okay. Oh, God.
Got 3 of them out of the 4-foot.
Well,
roll this way.
Sean Epping has just got to be careful he doesn't jam the center stone on
Yeah.
the back rock.
Worst part is where that one went. If that one out, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Normal.
Hit it the same spot harder.
Well, just so I don't.
Yeah. Didn't have a ton of weight.
Yep. Normal. I do too.
Kind of weight, Johnny.
Normal.
Norm.
Yeah.
That's gone. That was probably gone too.
I'm looking to remove this rock without jamming it on the back blue.
Hey, normal, a little heavy. Heavy.
Whoa.
Good, Norm.
Whoa. Matt. Matt.
Good try, John.
Wow, that might be a little too far.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, board.
Okay.
Just too much weight.
This is where John's hack waiter went.
Yeah.
It didn't go a ton, did it?
He only threw hack though, right?
What was
That's
that?
close, yeah.
So John's didn't go crazy here.
Actually, rolling half open's pretty good.
I can throw it quieter. Good. Just board.
Okay. You don't have to fully roll. Like, even if you see
Yeah.
half rock's pretty good.
It's lots. Okay.
Well, for Glenn Howard, the only thing he doesn't want to do is roll too far and give John Epping the opportunity to split the rings.
Yeah, he needs to keep the play over here.
Tim,
Whoa, Dave.
I like
Tim,
Scott's
Tim.
call about showing half
Hard,
a rock.
Tim.
Maybe he
Really
can
gotta
lure
go,
him
Tim.
into.
And he doesn't want to jam this on his own either.
Hard, Tim.
Ooh, look at carving this hard here now.
Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Awesome.
Never curled.
Yep.
That pretty much
John
takes care
Epping
of
here
his
will
two.
just peel the Howard stone out and force him
Ate
to
it too
take
much
his
ice.
single point.
I cannot read the ice today. God, I've got to curl a little bit. Wasn't heavy.
Real good, Johnny.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah, no problem.
John Epping quietly going about his business here. Remove this rock. And all Team Howard will have is a draw for one.
Just clean. You're clean.
The last rock for John Epping here in the 7th end.
Yeah.
And he peels that out perfectly. For Glenn Howard, his only option here is a draw for a single point.
Thanks.
You know, by his own admission, he's having a hard time reading the
Same
ice
as the
today.
last draw I drew through.
Okay.
Well, I think it's funny on this sheet. We've watched this sheet all week long, and where that out-turn corner guard is right now, we have not seen many people go around that side for some reason. It's almost like it is going up a little bit of a
That should
hill.
be real good.
Piece of the 4, boys. Hasn't curled yet. Starting to go now. Starting to curl.
Good looking shot
Doesn't
coming
not
from
look
Glenn Howard here. His last stone,
Okay.
14-6. That should be right on the button. And he is just that. So that'll be a single point for Glenn Howard.
Okay.
He will trail by a score of 7-3 after 7 ends.
Or top 4, top 8.
Thanks.
Right
If
around
there's
it.
ever a time to
Yeah.
set up for a steal, it would be now.
Well,
First one never curled it.
this end here, I suspect that
Looked like good ice.
for Glenn Howard, he will be pushing all in. He's going to throw the double center guards.
John's
He's going to
curled
try
like
to
crazy,
do
almost hit the guard.
whatever he can to steal. And if the Epping team make their shots, there's a chance that we could see handshakes at the end of this end.
The Epping team have not missed many shots. They have been spot on
Well,
all
it's-
game long.
Line's good. Get it
They've
over.
all played well, actually.
Line's real good.
Obviously, I think
Line's real good.
Ryan Fry's made some absolute pistols, and
Tim.
and Brent Lang has done just a miraculous job of setting up.
Oh, you didn't
John
really
just kind of finished off. He made the perfect freeze last end with his last one, which was the key shot.
Same stuff.
And once again, we'll see Brent Lang drawing to the 4-foot here.
Line's great.
Can't touch this one.
Okay.
So usually you see there's two different strategies in this situation, especially when you're up 7-3. Some teams will choose to tick the center guard and just open it up, so it's really difficult for
Good.
the opposing team to mount any type of offense. Or you try to control the 4-foot. You know, the challenge with ticking the front is that I would think that a really good lead, probably at a high percentage, probably
Might
makes
be
that
in.
about 70%
No.
of the time.
Unless you're
Can
Lisa
you get to
Rico.
this then?
Yeah.
No.
Versus drawing to the 4-foot, most of them make that 90% of the time.
Still
Right.
top 12. That's going to dig, I think.
Shot, Tim.
Oh, don't touch it. No, it's not going to dig. Ooh.
Oh, and it just stops in the nick of time.
Okay, line's good.
Weight through, good.
Top 4. Yeah, never. Line's never an issue.
Okay. Real close.
Well,
We're there right now.
yeah.
Sliding a bit better.
Well,
No.
well,
It's trouble.
well,
It's trouble.
well. No, it's okay.
Still want to be deep here. And that
Probably
is
in
just
turn,
a little too deep. Now for David Mee, there's great opportunity
about
to
halfway.
get frozen and maybe even tap it a couple
Hey, like to
inches.
go a bit.
Okay, get her there.
Should be T-line.
This is probably the best opportunity
Yeah, go.
Glenn has had the
Line's
whole
good.
game right here.
Room, actually. It's got a curl. It's got a curl. Scott.
Oh, God. Go, 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 go. Yeah, just straighten it on.
I suspect maybe one of David Mather's rocks might be a little bit
Straight.
straighter because it hasn't really curled a ton.
Yep.
And his weight, I'm at
Really,
15 seconds
really
hog to hog. And
Uh-oh.
uh-oh. Oh, my God. When things are going your way, they're going your way.
Might be better. I think it's better.
That's better for you.
He leaves all the guards out front.
Do you like the same ice or more tighter?
Okay.
Chance
Foot
number
tight.
2 here
Line's
for
tighter.
David Mathers.
Sorry, guys.
Line's a lot tighter.
Go, Tim. Go, go, go.
Really got to go, Tim.
Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim.
Really got to go, Tim.
Hard, Tim.
Fortunately, this
Really
looks
got to
like
go, Tim. Come on.
He's
Come
holding
on,
the
boys,
line
go.
here.
You got to get
Yeah.
Go, go, go. Get it past this yellow. Get it past the yellow. Get it past the yellow. Oh, boy.
It just cut the ice back a little bit. But he also cut the weight back.
Give me the same. Okay. Give me the same turn, John.
Matt Cam looking to redeem himself here.
Okay.
There's a
Good.
perfect shot. Well, some people may have walked up and peeled the 2 Howard tight stones, but he could still freeze in there and get position. Now he's going to have to try to
We got to get
tap.
one in here somehow.
I know. Tap
You got to
the
go
one,
around.
Dave,
You want
through.
to tap it or. Like, that's no good.
Tap the one, Dave, through.
And tapping's always more difficult just because you need the right combination of both weight and line.
With many other finals going on today, Brad Jacobs leads in his final
Whoa,
right
Tim.
now by a
Yep,
score
Tim.
4-2 at
Yep.
the halfway mark.
Whoa, Tim.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, Tim.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Good looking
Dave,
shot
Dave,
coming
a
from
bit. Dave,
Scott
Dave,
Howard
just a
here.
bit, Dave. Easy.
Harder, Dave.
Just a bit, Dave.
Harder, harder,
Just a
harder.
bit, just a bit. It's really good.
That was well
Do
executed.
that.
Yeah.
Ryan Fry just having a look at the angles for the double takeout here.
Yeah.
Team Gushu have won their provincial. Team Dunstone have won
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Hey, Dave. You have to throw those taps so hard. Yeah.
Team Cooey leading in his final
high.
in Northwest Territories.
3/4.
Jamie Cooey, yes.
I'm just going to go for it. Throw through the rings.
Yep.
It's gonna curl.
Yep. Whoa.
Ryan Fry looking for the run through.
Good shot.
Gets rid of all the backing.
Actually, that is as good as you can make that. Got rid of the 2 Langer stones, which were the first 2.
Great
They
throw,
could
Ryan.
have started a little bit of this mess.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's going to double peel, but I think we need to score.
No question there.
He's like a young grasshopper. Can you
Doesn't need to
snatch the
curl.
pebble from my
I
hand?
don't think. Looks really high. Over and off.
Yep.
Oh,
Keep
dear.
going, keep going.
Keep
just,
going.
Just get it deep as you can. We'll use it later. Keep going, get it to curl.
going, Tim.
Curl,
Keep
curl,
going.
curl. Okay.
You like that? Yeah? Do you never play the other one? No. Is that stupid? Yeah, you're right. Let's go, buddy.
Ryan Fry's last stone of this 8th
Yeah,
end of
whoa,
play.
whoa, whoa.
Looking
Sure,
just to
Ryan.
peel it off.
Same, I think.
I'm surprised he didn't get that other yellow
just
one on
laid
his
that
way
down,
by.
yeah.
The way things have been going for him.
Neither do I without leaving us a double for 3.
Shooting, brother.
He runs it. It's not awful. Yeah, take a time out. Sure.
I was gonna. Yeah.
It's not
We're
bad.
down so many. Yeah. Right there. I agree.
I guess if he runs it, we get a little lucky, maybe.
I just want to be fully buried.
Okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
He threw good. It just looked like he threw it halfway down the sheet.
Yeah.
So still normal here.
I agree.
First stone for Glenn Howard here in this 8th end.
I got
Okay,
real
hair
close.
tight. Gotta go line.
Looking to get
Okay,
it
well,
buried in
your
the
hair-
top 4
hair
foot if he
tight.
could.
Whoa,
Yep. You gotta go, Tim. You gotta go.
whoa, whoa.
Whoa. Okay, line's perfect. Just let it stop. Yeah, you can go a bit.
God, that slid well.
It's a good shot.
I find it still
Yeah.
decent.
I'm thinking Peel, stay right there.
Sure.
Well, John Epping is sort of counting rocks in a way
no,
here.
No, just
If he can
yeah,
make
stay
the,
right there.
if he can nose it, it means that Glenn will have to move him. Mind you, Glenn could hit and roll inside. I think John would probably love to just roll
I think
inside
anywhere
a
low
smidge
for him
here.
is gonna be. He's
That's what I'm seeing.
yeah, anywhere low for him. You're good.
Throw it good, John.
John Epping
Whoa,
throwing the intern
Whoa.
heater.
Yes.
whoa. Yep. Yep.
And that's well done.
Throw, Johnny.
Let's see if I can tap it.
Can you get to nose, boys, and tap it?
In Glenn's
Well, I
mind,
only have to move
it's
it
really
6 inches per
important for
shot.
him to lay 2 points here.
What do you think?
Okay.
You can get that with the out
I
turn.
think it's going to warp in there.
I don't think you ever can sit to it.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Like you got to get to.
I think you're right, Barb. I think he probably
like here. Wait.
he could probably just back 4
don't
weight,
think
get
so.
around with the out turn, and
I kind of like it. Because then even if I get,
You're looking at the run back?
well, if he noses it, actually, it's
I like it.
Yeah.
he's
okay.
gold.
Or do you want to just try it for one?
Just back ring. Okay.
If he's going to throw back line, I like the out turn.
I guess we should probably sit in 2 is probably a good move here.
Yeah.
Well,
Right on the nose is perfect.
Glenn doesn't feel like a
This is gonna
single
curl
point
him.
is going to help much.
Normal?
You know, he'd still be down 3 without the hammer playing the 9th end of play.
A little more, Scott.
Shouldn't curl too much. In the tighter stuff.
This is kind of.
I just don't know where to put the broom. That's my biggest problem. I
But
haven't
if they
put the
played
broom.
back line with the out turn and left that guard out front,
Well, it's in there too good. This
I,
is the best.
I
outcome.
think
he'd
the
still
way-
sit
That
two,
looks like a
couldn't he?
lot for normal.
the fact that he's got Tim March that can carve that in there, I think the out turn back 8, back line weight, I think he could definitely lay 2, force John to draw to the 4-foot for a single. Last rock for Glenn Howard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Tim. Whoa. Close. Tim. Really
Looking
gotta
to
curl.
run this stone straight back.
Hard, Tim. Hard,
Try to
Tim.
lay 2 stones.
Harder.
Oh, he's really close.
Good shot.
mission accomplished.
Well, he's still got it. And good
Yeah.
guessing, good sweeping.
Normal?
That's unreal. I curled that much. I just
I was
it's
thinking
curling
peel,
way more
but-
than it has all week.
Just peel. It's dead straight.
Double here for 3.
But 2/3, 3/4, I'm.
And
we
handshakes.
can shake after 8 if he makes it. We had to play 8, didn't we?
Well, that's first and foremost, he wants to make sure he scores. So one is good. If he can make the double like that would be a bonus point.
I curled. It's just insane.
You know, at the end of the day, you still have to play smart. If he's up 8-3,
Every hit I missed.
Yeah.
you still may see handshakes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I like it out of my hands, so I'm not putting the broom, I'm putting the broom in the right spot. It pisses me off.
John Epping's last stone.
Whoa.
Last stone in the 8th end of play in this Ontario Men's
please.
Provincial Championship.
Whoa.
Oh, he doesn't. He gets a single point,
I agree with you. He was tight. Definitely tight.
and that will be an 8-3 lead
Done?
for John Epping.
Take 3 and 9. Yeah.
Boys just deciding whether they are going to throw in the towel or if they're going to continue on.
That's good, boys.
There you have it, folks. Your Ontario Men's Champion is John Epping team from the Leaside Curling Club.
Congratulations.
Third, Ryan Fry. Second, Matt Cam. And lead, Brent Lang.
Final score here is 8-3. There's a happy Team Epping here.
And their coach, Jim Wilson. Should I say Jim Rock Bottom Wilson, making his way down the ice as well. So, a little.
You get to go back, baby.
Yeah, there's a big hug for you.
Wow, Jimmy's been a great calming influence for John and just a massive supporter for them. So, you know what? Congratulations to their team. They've been the class act all week long. They've gone undefeated and won this final game. A salute to Glenn Howard, the 17-time champion.
Nothing to hang their heads about, though,
Oh.
Ian. They also had a great week. They made some fantastic shots. It just wasn't their day today.
Okay.
I think they used it all up yesterday against
Yeah.
Team McDonald.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
great week for these guys, and you know what? They will be a worthy Ontario representative. They could be the favorite going in to win this Brier, which is just down the road an hour from here. Like, what a great feat for John Epping to have a more or less hometown Brier.
For sure, you know. Briar's in Ontario. He's representing Ontario. They're riding very, very high right now. I expect really, really good things from this team come the
Well-
beginning of March.
This is always the favorite time is the
Good week, boys.
the champions walk. The ice is yours.
I'll put his jacket on hot now.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. For the men's 40-20
John Epping, Ryan Fry, Matt Kem, Brent Lang, and their coach Jim Wilson making the walk. And as we have our parade of volunteers as well.
Had hundreds of volunteers to make an event like this run off as smoothly as it did. Many, many thanks to Kevin Baker and his entire organizing committee.
All right. That was pretty good. Yeah, you kept it intact.
Well, I think John and his team just put on a bit of a clinic here. I think
You can just tap.
Glenn Howard self-admittedly didn't do a really good job reading the ice tonight, this afternoon. You know, which is very unfortunate. He's such a class act and such a great player, and you know, everybody will. The pundits can always argue whether he is the greatest of all time. I know Randy Furby's got six Briars, but you know, Glenn's got 4, and he's got the most Briar wins. So.
Right.
John and him and his team have been great supporters of the Shorty Jenkins Classic, which is played in Cornwall here, actually just across the parking lot at the curling club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they inherited it from Brockville, and they're doing a bang-up job.
And so hence John's, he's also one of the favorites here, and obviously with Matt being the local boy. John will get an opportunity to play in his second Briar. And Ryan Fry now becomes the first player to ever represent 4 different provinces. He's only got 10 more to go.
Yeah.
And last but not least, thank you fans for coming out and supporting us this week. It's been wonderful curling. Thank you very much.
Finally, 2. 2 for 12. Yeah.
On behalf of the board of directors and staff of Curl-On, I want to once again express our thanks to John and Kevin and to all the volunteers and the ice staff for putting on such a great event, and the city of Cornwall and Cornwall Tourism. Thank you as well to all the curlers who gave us some fantastic games. And today's game, the final, was just really spectacular. You gave us a great game, and thank you so much. We know you're going to represent us extremely well at the Briar. Just down the highway in Kingston.
Thank you to the presentation of the plaques to the winning players from Team Epping. As you mentioned, the Briar kicking off February 29th in Kingston. Don't forget you can get your tickets online. Plaques going
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So happy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the players just receiving their awards here. And one of the things that they play for is the coveted Purple Heart.
Purple Heart. They'll wear it proudly on their Ontario jackets.
You know, nowadays, now they take the they take the Purple Heart and they've done a really nice job encasing it because the on the actual jackets they kind of get sublimated.
Right.
So.
Leaside Curling Club will get another curl on banner to hang proudly in their curling club. Photo opportunity here, and I'll ask John to say a few words.
Presentation of the men's 2020 Ontario Curling Championship Trophy to Team Epping.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. There they are, Team Epping with the Ontario Provincial Championship Trophy.
Yep. Take that home.
Our hats off to
Yeah.
Glenn Howard, Scott Howard,
sure.
David Mathers, and Tim March as well for just a first-class game and being first-class competitors.
Thank you. On behalf of my team, we would like to thank the City of Cornwall, the volunteers this week. You made it very seamless for us to come here and take over this beautiful venue. To the ice crew, thanks for a great week of ice, Curl Ontario. To all the sponsors that make this happen, to all of our sponsors, it wouldn't be possible for us to play as much as we do if they weren't part of this team. And to you, the fans, thanks for coming out this week. We love coming to Cornwall. We come here every year for the Shorty Jenkins Classic, and it really does feel like home here. To my team, thank you for playing great and putting up with me. And especially, I know this is extra special for Matt coming here and winning this in his hometown. And yeah, don't forget to come cheer us on in a month in Kingston. It's going to be fun. Thank you.
Well, with that, we will say thank you, Barb, for a great week. It's been a lot of fun. On behalf of Curl On and all of us at Title Sports Live, we thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you back here next year.